Hey guys, Emily here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Please consider hitting that red subscribe button. Today I'm going to be doing a video inspired by Burke, the YouTuber who's from Canada, who is blind and has a guide dog named Gallup. I've been watching her for years. She recently did a video about 10 things that remind her that she is blind and therefore disabled. And I thought it's a really good way to start a conversation because there's so many different disabilities out there in the world, and there's so many different variations of the same disability that even if people have the same diagnosis, everyone is different. And so I thought it's a good conversation starter, so I'm gonna do my take on this video. And this video is sort of a collaboration with Anna from CP Life again. She is doing a video about how caregivers and the process of getting caregivers changed her life for the better. And yeah, so check out her video and her channel in the pinned comment down below, and let's get into the video. So I've got all 10 written down here in my little YouTube notebook, so if you see me looking down, that's why. But the first one is that I have obvious physical limitations even with modifications. So like I have my coffee maker over there, and I still have a hard time wheeling with the coffee in hand to the table, and things like that. And then even like reaching things because I'm so short, but that has nothing to do with disability, but just like, you know, little roadblocks throughout my day that really get in the way. And I'm like, dang, this would be so much easier if I could walk, or this would be so much easier if like I had strength in one side of my body, because my right side is really, really weak. That's my real affected side with the CP. So I'm like, oh, if I just had use of my right hand, or more use, this would be so much easier, you know? So just little roadblocks throughout the day. And number 2 is when people bend down to meet me at eye level. Again, I don't know if this has to do more with my shortness or it just has to do with the chair. Fun fact, I'm only like 4 foot tall, so I haven't grown in a while. But I mean, pre-COVID, like when I'd meet people in this situation, sometimes they'd bend down and meet me at eye level, which is great. Like, you know, you should do that to be respectful, but then it's like, oh, I'm not tall enough to meet you at eye level, so you have to bend. And sometimes in a crowded place it's awkward and whatever, but that's on me. That's not them doing anything. That's more of my own awkwardness that I need to get over. Number 3 is when I drop something and I can't get it. I can't tell you how many times a week I drop the cord to the phone charger, or I drop my phone even, and then I'm like stuck, so then I have to use my iPad to call anybody if I ever had an emergency. And you know, oh my god, just dropping things and you can't reach them, because when you're sitting down you lose like an inch of your height, you know what I mean? So just the daily functions of life is difficult. And number 4 is when places or situations aren't accessible. This is like a really big one, and like accessibility is something that I'm really, really passionate about. Like I could go on for literally hours talking about how it is. But like, again, pre-COVID, like when you went out in like a group setting, or you went out to do something and like something wouldn't be accessible, it's like, ooh, um, like that's annoying. And then, or the other situation is when you call and they say that they're accessible, and when you get there, you realize that it really isn't, because I've learned over the years that some places or people don't have the the rules of like what accessibility should be. And don't even get me started on that, because we still have a lot more work to do, but at least the bare minimum, they don't have an idea of what it should be. So that definitely grinds my gears and definitely reminds me that I'm disabled, and like it's like, oh, this is not accessible, I can't go, or this has like a 3-foot step to get in somewhere, that's not gonna work, and whatever. And sometimes you can make it work, but like sometimes you're just so exhausted and you're just like, oh, I just want to go in and get some coffee, or I just want to go in and have a nice dinner with my friends, or I just want to go in and do something, and you can't because it's not accessible. And that really is disheartening. Number 4, when people ask, can I do X, Y, and Z in a chair? And mostly this has to do with relationship stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. And the answer is yes. There's plenty of disabled people who are in relationships who do relationship things. That's all I'm gonna say. And there's plenty of interable couples who do all of those things. And I always like to say, we in wheelchairs, or we as disabled people can do anything. You just have to either find a way to make it adapted to you, or you just figure it out and find a way that works for you. And again, this is why I talk about the wide range of things, because what works for me isn't going to work for the person sitting next to me, even if we did have the same disability. Literally, everyone is different. So even when you see, oh, this person has CP and so does this person, like literally, you're meeting 2 different people anyway, but you're also meeting 2 different people because me and the next person are completely different. So don't group, you can group people together, but like don't group them together and be like, oh, just because this person can't do something doesn't mean that other person can't also do something. And number 6 is something I know I can do better without a disability. 1,000 times yes. I try not to say this to myself, but like sometimes it just like happens when you have a really hard day, or you're just frustrated. I'm just like, oh, I could be so much more independent, like if I didn't have a disability. And like I have mental health issues too, so I'm just literally talking about the physical limitations that I have. Mental health is a whole nother story, but if I just got rid of the physical limitations, I could literally make my own coffee way easier in the morning. I could, clean my room without having to worry about the robot vacuum. I could actually use a real vacuum, you know what I mean? Like I could do so many things. I could, take care of my dog a lot easier without like 10,000 steps in the middle of that. You know what I mean? There's so many things. I could walk freely. I could, do all the things. Number 7 is comparing myself to others, both disabled and able-bodied. Yes, the game of comparison is strong, and again, that's something that I struggle with, both to my disabled peers and my non-disabled peers. Like, oh, this person is like killing it at college or killing it at a job, and they're disabled. Or again, oh my god, this person is already like married and they're not disabled, or this person is driving and this person is doing this and this person is doing that. And I'm just like, oh my God. But then at the same time, I have to remind myself what I tell other people is that everybody's journey is different. You know what I mean? So, like, literally, I just have to be like, take a breath and just realize that everybody's journey is different and things will happen when they're ready to happen for me. And if they don't, then that's okay too. Number 8 is people assuming that things are, like handed to me because of my disability, that like my life is easier in some way because of my disability. Like, yes, I do have help and I do benefit from some things due to my disability, but and if anything, it's harder because of my disability because I am unable to work at the moment. Like, I don't know what the future holds, but at least right now I'm unable to work. I don't drive, so I have to rely on other people. I, need a lot of physical help. So no, my life is not easy. Like, things aren't handed to me, and yeah, it's not easy. Again, I would do so many more things if I was able to do them freely, and just everything would be different. Number 9 is not being able to move freely. Yeah, I mean, there's two sides to this. Like, some days I'm able to move so freely. I, do my bike every morning. I do all the things. And then some days I'm like, oh, I can't move. Like, I'm in so much pain with spasticity, say that 10 times fast. But like at the other chance, it's like, oh, if I didn't have CP, like I could do, I could just move throughout my day with ease. Like, I'll tell you, I have dreams sometimes of just like, you ever see those cheesy movies that they're just like running through the flower fields just in the sunset, just like running around like that? That literally sometimes is my dream, and I wake up sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, was that real? Like, will I ever experience that? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, sometimes that happens. So that's number 9. And then obviously kind of a no-brainer. Number 10 is my chair, my wheels. Like, even though it's an extension of me in some ways, like I use it like all the time. My chair is definitely a reminder that I'm disabled, even though I'm super grateful for it. I'm super thankful that I have it, because I know in some countries, like, people can't have this, or, like, insurance doesn't work the same way. And even though I know here that people struggle to get mobility equipment, even though I'm super grateful that I have it, at the same time, it's kind of like, when I'm in bed and I see the chair, I'm like, wow, I definitely have a disability, and I definitely do need help. And these are kind of like, I wouldn't say the worst case scenario, but these are definitely thoughts that come on my harder days when things are challenging or I have a bad day. These are definitely not my thoughts on a daily basis. I've come to terms with my disability and I've accepted it. If you want to see a video on how I did all that, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of self-work. I'll link it somewhere, or you can search my videos. I did it recently. But these are definitely things that happen on a, like, when I'm struggling more, or it's like a hard week or whatever. These are definitely not daily, everyday thoughts, because that would be kind of rough if that happened every day. But I'm thankful that it's not that case. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble and have a conversation with you all. And don't forget to check out Anna's video down below. And also don't forget to check out Molly's video down below. Thank you, Molly, for this amazing idea. Thank you, Anna, for collaborating with me. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!